So you're probably wondering why I'm already soaking wet. Well, it turns out this is a take two. See, what happened was I jumped in and water got on top of the phone, so I tried to use my towel to dry it off, and I accidentally stopped the recording. Oh. Now it's gonna ruin the magic. Because like the point of me going in, like, how cold is the water? You don't know. Well, truth be told, the water is great. It is. It's a little bit colder than it was on 4th of July. But still very nice. I just ruined the magic. Oh well. If you're still watching this, you probably want to see me jump in, so, okay. Feels even better a second time. Hopefully I jumped far enough away so like water didn't get on the camera when I got in. Okay. Darn it, still did. Man. Okay, maybe you won't, just don't touch the recording thing. Okay, that kind of works. So, bits of water here and there. Hold on. Okay, that kind of works. Still looks, doable. That's never happened. Seriously, all these times I've jumped in the water, and not once has water gotten on the phone. And for the most part, my phone is positioned pretty much the exact same distance as it normally is. Like, see, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Like 11 dock boards from the actual end of it. I don't know. Well, again, happy, right. In the old recording, I said good morning and happy Sunday. So now I'll say once again, good morning and happy Sunday. Oh gosh. But seriously though, the water feels great today. It does. That does make me feel nice. Like, I literally did like a whole spiel before I started recording where, I press record, I'm about to jump in the water, and then my ankle starts itching. Which is a problem because when I jump in, the way you see me doing these videos, I pretty much just like turn my brain off and go. That's really the only way to go about doing this. And I have nothing distracting me. So when your ankle starts itching before you jump in, yeah, you're going to pay attention to that. And now I'm like, oh, I don't want to jump in. I'm like, well, might as well do it anyway. And you know what? The fact I have to do another recording, that's my low. How about that? Hold on. Shades. Ring. Chain. And a good chair. Good chair. That's not possible. Actually, let me, see if I can lower it just a little bit, maybe. There we go. Cool. Okay. So, I hope everyone is enjoying their 4th of July weekend. I am. And last night was, in some cases, even better than on 4th of July. Yeah, I was shocked, but actually, my high is what I wound up doing last night. And my act of kindness was today I've been helping my mom and dad watch my nephews, playing with them for a little bit. Anyway, so, I was kind of on the fence about doing this sort of thing. Because, for all intents and purposes, one of my items on my 2025 bucket list was go see a show at Point of the Bluff Vineyards, which is literally over there somewhere behind me. Or maybe it's maybe over there. Somewhere in that general vicinity over yonder. And I did see one on Memorial Day weekend. Although, technically, while it was a concert, it wasn't at their actual concert venue. This is like, you know, when places have like live music for people to perform at. You see it all the time. But, while it did technically count as an item being crossed off my bucket list, you could always stand to do more. I mean, listen, I've seen Claudia Hoyser 4 times. I have 4 check marks added to that item on my 2025 bucket list. I've got 5 times for Blue Eyed Soul and 5 times for Country Chaos. That is including the times it was Taste of Chaos. Anyway, so yeah, I can have multiple check marks on an item on my 2025 bucket list, because to accomplish the item is one thing, but to do it multiple times just actually makes things better in some ways. So there's a water right here. Anyway. And not to mention, this was really special because Point of the Bluff was celebrating their 10-year anniversary of being open. Which, I mean, listen, I said this earlier this year when I went to, actually I said this twice so far, up until today. Once for Patrick celebrating their 8th anniversary being open. Shout out to Patrick and Elmira. And again for Fox Run Vineyards celebrating their 35th. You know, listen, being open for a year is already no small feat. To be open for any number of years is already impressive. And, you know, 10 years, Point of the Bluff, massive milestone. You know, congratulations. I don't think enough can be said about how good you are. You know, I got you guys, Bully Hill, and Abandoned Brewing is some of the best views I've ever seen ever. Not just at Cuca Lake, but of all time. And to go to a concert with that view, you can't beat that, man. You just can't beat it. So anyway, you probably wonder what the concert was. It was actually a band that I had never heard of before called the Docksiders. They're sort of like I think they're known for performing at like yacht clubs, like yacht clubs, and they perform at like yacht clubs and stuff like that. And they go all around the country singing songs from, you know, late 70s, early to mid 80s. It's all very, very good, by the way. Seriously, they are really good. If you have a chance to see the Docksiders do it, it really, they really are good. You know, everyone's up singing and dancing. And unlike most shows at Point of the Bluff where you buy a ticket and you have an assigned seat, there really was no assigned seat. To be fair, this isn't like a show such as Marshall Tucker like last year or Trace Atkins the year before that. Like, I wouldn't say these guys are super duper famous like that, but the fact that I needed to buy a ticket to get in, like at this point, it counts as seeing a show. And I got to see yet another show at Point of the Bluff. This time at their concert venue. And again, Point of the Bluff really is such a beautiful place. It is. If you have any opportunity to see a concert there, you really should. It's wonderful. It really is. And not to mention, some of the stuff they had there was incredible. There was a wine tasting and a sort of like a hard lemonade tasting, a few spirits and beer tastings as well. And I tell you what, I'd say for like the first 45, for a good 45 minutes, I was definitely feeling kind of a buzz. I really was. But then again, I didn't really have much food in my stomach, so yeah, rookie move. But you know what? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. I mean, like I'm fine. I mean, I'd say by the time the concert was over at around like 8:30, I felt perfectly fine. Like, I know, listen, if I ever do drink, which isn't very often, but if I do, I have enough foresight to understand, like, what my limit is. Like, if I see a buzz, if I feel like, okay, if I feel something is a little bit off, like, I'll stop it and just wait to sober up for a while, or at least get some food, which I did. And again, by the time the concert was over, it was, I'd say 8:30. Seriously, I felt so much better by the time the concert was over. I completely forgot I had a buzz to begin with. That's how much better. That's actually, seriously, if you ever are going to drink and you have any aspirations of driving, well, first of all, don't. But if you ever do that, you need to think to yourself, like, how much better, how do you feel? And do you remember the fact you had a buzz at all? Because that's what happened with me. Like, yeah, I felt a little bit of a buzz, but this was like before 7 o'clock. You know, an hour and a half later, I felt fine. And I got, food in between. There was some popcorn there. Crooked Lake Creamery had ice cream there. I had a little bit of ice cream. The Park Inn that was technically catering a little bit, but I didn't really get that much food there, which is fine because after the concert, I went to the Park Inn for dinner. First time ever going to the Park Inn, by the way, which is a place in Hammondsport I've been meaning to go to for a really long time. Like, probably before 2020, actually. Because it was actually a place that my grandfather really liked to go to. And it was very good. It was very good. Like, Point of the Bluff refers to the Park Inn as like their sister restaurant. Yeah, sure. I'd give it to them. Their food. I tried their fried calamari. And I had their prosciutto seared chicken. Both of which were outstanding. Very good. Actually, the chicken came over a bed of sweet pea risotto. Had like mushrooms in it and stuff like that. It was actually really good. Yeah, I would say this was a very more than excellent place to go to, and I'm glad I finally got to go to the Park Inn. I mean, the sad part is, like, I mentioned Crooked Lake Creamery. It's right next door to the Park Inn. I thought about getting some more ice cream after that, but they were closed by the time I was done eating dinner. What can I say? It was late. It is what it is. But, honestly, like, last night is just the kind of night where you go out and do something, and for a good while, you really do feel as if you can throw all your troubles away. Like, take a moment, don't sweat the small stuff, enjoy the ride, like, be present in the moment, and have fun. I mean, I like to think that, especially this year, I've been really great at doing that. But for sure, I could definitely do a better job of acknowledging it. And, just like the weekend I did the polar bear plunge at the Tiki Bar last May, I really do got to ask myself, or acknowledge how lucky I am that I mean, listen, again, I kind of was on the fence about going to this last night. I really was. Largely because, remember when I said, like, you gotta pay tickets and it's assigned seating normally at one of these concerts at Point of the Bluff? The tickets were actually really good. Like, I think just under $28 for a ticket, which is not bad at all. And no assigned seating. But here's the thing, though. That wasn't, like, food from the Park Inn or Crooked Creamery wasn't included in the price. So take that what you will. But that doesn't mean it was bad. I mean, you just gotta, not to mention, the only reason why I went to the Park Inn after the concert, even though I did have some food at the concert, was because the food I really wanted, they pretty much ran out, and what I did have didn't really fill me up. So, get yourself some dinner and down home. That's what I did. Honestly, July really has been off to a pretty great start. I mean, it literally started on July 1st getting that 1 5-layer gelati from Rita's. There was other stuff I did too. I can't remember what I did on Wednesday and Thursday. Oh, actually, I did do something really cool with my parents on a Wednesday. I got to see someone very important on Thursday. Friday was 4th of July, and yeah, man, July is off to a really great start. Like, for being the second half of the year already, I don't think you could ask for much better than this. I mean, I think the streak will end today. I really don't expect much to happen. I mean, Virgil Kane is playing at the Switz later, but honestly, as awesome as it would probably be to go to a show at the Switz on a Sunday night, I know, like, I and many other people have to work tomorrow, and this is just a me thing. I really just want to focus on, like, up until I'd say around 3 o'clock today, I'll be able to enjoy my time up here. But by that time, I really should consider, okay, like, have dinner up here and then immediately get home. But that's just me. Like, if you've known me long enough, I value promptness. And I really want to make sure I get to every obligation I have to do on time. That's how my grandfather was, and that's me too. The same grandfather who passed away and who, like me, is also left-handed. Although I mentioned earlier that my grandfather really did like the Park Inn, which is again is where I went to last night. My grandfather knew what he was doing, because to the Park Inn, you guys crushed it. You guys were really good. The service was impeccable. The food was delicious. I have nothing negative to say. Not one negative thing to say. To the good folks at Point of the Bluff Vineyards, you guys once again knocked out of the park with how great the service was up there. Friendly, accommodating, welcoming. Again, one of the best places on Cuckoo Lake with a view that I know of. One of my favorite views ever. And that didn't change. Although, speaking of which, in October, the Point of the Bluff is going to have a harvest dinner. And you could actually buy raffle tickets if you, got popcorn from the popcorn vendor up there. I got, 4 things of popcorn, so I got, several tickets, and I want to go to the harvest dinner. Although, if I win, I do need a date. That's my one problem. If I do win that, I need a date. Who am I kidding? I mean, listen, if I win, that's awesome. If not, you know what? I tried. I mean, it's like they say, you can't win if you're not in. But seriously, the Point of the Bluff Vineyards, you guys are awesome. To the Docksiders, oh, dude. The Docksiders, you guys are awesome. If I have another opportunity to see you guys again, I am taking that. I am running, not walking, to your next show. Enough said. And with that, let's enjoy this nice view. Seriously, on top of just how great the things I've done the last few days are, the weather's been impeccable. I just realized, how white I am in terms of, the sun. I've probably been out here long enough to get a tan. I hope you like this video. Like, subscribe to YouTube channel, on social media. As always, I'm very humble. This video for all of you guys watching the show today. Well, you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Sunday. And remember, if you guys want to talk to me, we're here to let me know. Back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.